Okay, it's Alec the Catholic. I am back again doing another reaction video. This time I'm doing another 21 Pilots song, Neon Gravestones. So far, 21 Pilots has been like that the candy bar at the top shelf in the back of the cabinet that I didn't know really was there and still good this whole time. um, I'm very unfamiliar with a lot of their music, and I've been reacting to just kind of like one or two songs here and there. This is one that was suggested. I'm doing the live version because I really appreciate um, these guys the way I saw two names, Tommy and I think Justin or Joseph. I don't know which one is which. Um, Drummer is one guy who plays the piano and sings is the other. Um, so I don't know which one who's who yet, but I'm sure you guys will tell me. But so far, I mean, the singer, the guy, the main guy who sings, it's just like the passion that he sings with and how real it is. I would much rather see the live versions of a lot of their songs, just so I can kind of glean some of what is actually going on in these performances and kind of their body language. There's so much is communicated in the body language of these artists. So this is really cool. This one was suggested a long time ago, and I'm finally getting around to it. So here we go, Neon Gravestones in the live lounge. As far as it sounds really dark, but there he is. Yeah, is this Tommy or Joseph? Is it Joseph? I thought I saw Tommy. Hope I'm getting these names right. Like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Sounds like a space
What's my
movie.
problem? Well, I want you to follow me down at the bottom, underneath the insane asylum. Keep your wits about you while you got 'em, 'cause your wits are first to go while you're problem solving. And my problem would glorify those even more when they. My opinion, our culture can treat a loss like it's a win, and right before we turn on them, we give.
Our culture can treat winning like it's a loss. Is that what he said? What's going to help me is the captions. Yes. Look at it. He treat a loss like it's a win. Right before we turn on them. Our culture can treat a loss like it's a win. I don't know what he's talking about exactly right there. And I am still a little confused. So I want to go back a little bit here. Catch a little bit more of these lyrics because he's not like, I think maybe because it's live, it's a little harder to hear him, a little harder to understand, and then the way he raps specifically, it's not normal, and so I like it, but it's not normal. So I gotta have to read. Reading is better.
We glorify those even more when they. My opinion, our culture can treat a loss like it's a win, and right before we turn on them, we give them highest of praise and hang the banner from a ceiling. Communicating further, engraving an earlier grave is an optional way. No. Neon gravestones try to call. Neon gravestones try to call for my bones. Call. What's my problem? Don't get it twisted. It's with the people we praise who may have assisted. I could use the streams and extra conversations. I could give up and boost up my reputation. I could go out with a bang. They would know my name. They would host and post a celebration. And my opinion will not be lenient. My opinion is real convenient. Our words are loud, but now I'm talking action. We don't get enough love, well, they get a fraction. They say, how could he go if he's got everything? I'll mourn for a kid, but won't cry for a king.
I'll mourn for a kid, but won't cry for a king. so the captions are confusing me more than before because they're not accurate. Um, the words are off, and the pacing he has that he's going for, it's like he's not finishing sentences or starting new ones in the middle of the last one. It's like the period got left out. And I don't know what neon gravestones are, but it sounds a little bit like he's talking about himself dying. Um, and it seems like he's talking about selling out. Like I think he mentioned like his opinion will still be there even if everyone else's opinion of him is really great, and they'll celebrate him if he gives in, if he gives up on probably like being authentic, his authentic self, being like the best he can be, being um, someone with conviction. I'm assuming maybe someone who believes in what he believes in. He's not going to give, if he chooses not to give that up, then he knows he's leaving behind like but like all this potential praise and celebration, and they would the world would celebrate him if he just gave in and made it big and became famous and made tons of money and all kinds of stuff, which is true. We celebrate people all the time who are willing to go and just like do what it takes to be successful and be famous. But we don't tend to remember them for very long. That's what I would argue. But so that's what I think that's what this song is kind of about. It's like let your true self and who you are and everything you believe in die, and that's like you become a sacrifice to the neon god of modern fame and internet fortune and all that kind of stuff. And this is interesting line. This I'll mourn for a kid, but I won't cry for a king. I don't know what king he's talking about, but I have a king I worship and I follow. Um, and this is something that I think a lot of people, even Christians, can resonate with that one statement. Like, yeah, I will bawl my eyes out, I will cry, I will sob, I will weep bitterly because a child dies, and maybe in the family or among my friends, a child dies, and I will weep bitterly. But when my king has died, when I sit and I meditate upon the fact that my king was crucified, like it doesn't bring tears. Like it's just kind of I'm desensitized to that. So that makes me wonder. That makes me really wonder, at least myself. You know, I'll mourn the loss of a child, but not a king, not the king. I don't know if that's what he's going for here, um, or maybe he's just pointing out the fact that people care more for the innocent in general, and it's easier to mourn for the innocent than it is to mourn for someone who's just like a celebrity, who's just like made it big. But then again, Kobe Bryant just passed away. He's like one of the best basketball players in the lake that the Lakers ever had, in the basketball had in the last decade or two, and man, LA feels it. It's the topic of a lot of conversation. I was just at Chili's and people are mourning. Just regular everyday people in Palmdale who've never met this man. Like I was starting to choke up, like in the restaurant, just people standing around staring at the TV as they broadcast a memorial service for Kobe Bryant. It was beautiful, but it was tragic and it was sad because it wasn't just him; it was his daughter and it is 7 other people. It was 9 people on that helicopter that crashed. So that's kind of crazy. So this is topical for me right now. So apologize for talking too much about this. Let's get on with the song, Alec.
Neon gravestones try to call. Neon gravestones try to call for my bones. Call. Promise me this. If I lose to myself. You want more today, you move on to someone else. Promise me this. Lose to myself.
Oh my gosh.
You want more today, you move on to someone else. Neon gravestones try to call.
That's deep. If I lose to myself, can you promise me you're not gonna someday move on to someone else? And that's like every celebrity. I remember Eminem rapping about this in the Bad Guy song from his Marshall Mathers LP2. He the very end of that song climaxes in this whole like struggle that he's having with himself and the fact that he's one day he will be irrelevant, whether he likes it or not, whether that's the thing he dreads the most, the thing he fears the most. It doesn't matter, because one day it happens to all of them, is what he says. The lights turn off, the fame goes away, no one cares about you. You lose you're obsolete now. It happens to all of them, all the famous people, all the celebrities. No one escapes the passage of time. And I think he's like, okay, Tyler, not Tommy. Tyler from 21 Pilots. It says right there in the name. So this is Tyler. Okay, the other guy, Justin Joseph, starts with a J. I'm pretty sure. Okay. Sidebar. Anyway, I think that's what he's talking about here, though. It's like he's basically the song is him having that argument or that discussion with himself, and like playing out the options, and then I think really he's like making an argument for, no, I'm not gonna sell out to myself. Are you kidding me? And he's showing you how he sees fame and celebrity, a neon gravestone. These people are already dead. They sold out. They sold themselves. They lost everything. And one day they'll be irrelevant. They'll move on to someone else. It's so true. It's ridiculous. It's so true. It's kind of ridiculous how people still do everything they can to achieve that. It's sad, but it makes sense. It's an attractive thing. It's hard to resist the temptation. So
Neon gravestones try to call for my bones. Neon gravestones try to call. Neon gravestones try to call for my bones, but they won't get them. No, they won't get them. They won't get them.
no, Tyler, they
No,
won't.
they won't get them. Don't get me wrong, the rise in awareness is beating a stigma that no longer scares us, but for sake of discussion and spirit of fairness, could we give this some room for a new point of view? And could it be true that some could be tempted to use this mistake as a form of aggression, a form of succession, a form of a weapon, thinking I'll teach them while I'm refusing the lesson? It won't resonate in our minds.
I'll teach them while I'm refusing the lesson. Bro. Oh. That's deep. That's just right. This is way before NF, and paid my dues, or paid my. I'm a big NF fan. I'll put that out there now. I'm not doing any reactions to all of his all the music he's already written, because I've listened to every single song. So, but the last one, paid my dues. He's sitting on top of the telephone pole, and he's like, I'll accept advice if it's not presented ignorantly. It's like, you gotta know me first before you just say things. And yet, celebrities, my gosh, I'm gonna teach, but I refuse the lesson. Ricky Gervais, the Golden Globes, he got up and he basically just trashed all of Hollywood, like, just insulted everyone in that room practically, and the biggest names, and he insulted Apple while Steve Wozniak was sitting right there. Like, oh my gosh, it was so crazy to watch him do that. He's a daring gentleman, Ricky Gervais. But to see him do that, and then at the end of it, be like, "Look, don't get up here and give us like a talk, political talk, and tell us how we should live our lives. You people don't know anything about the real world. Most of you didn't even graduate high school or college. You never worked a job a day in your lives. Like, you don't know anything about the real world. Don't get up here and tell everyone else in America or in the world how to live their lives, and teach, but refuse the lesson." I like Tyler and 21 Pilots. These guys are on a deep wavelength here, and they're seeing truth. They really see truth. They see the industry, I think, for what it is, and it's a meat grinder, man. It's a literal meat grinder, and they're kind of coming out on top of it. And I think a lot of artists are the good artists who can last and who are worth listening to, or they're kind of get it going in through the meat grinder, coming out on top of it, and just saying, "I've been there, I've done that, and I refuse to sacrifice me in the process." That's cool. I think it's really cool.
I'm not disrespecting what was left behind, just pleading that it does not get glorified. Maybe we swap out what it is that we hold so high. Find your grandparents or someone of age. Pay some respects for the path that they paid, to life they were dedicated. Now that should be celebrated.
Gosh. Forget about, like, you know, celebrities, people on TV, people on YouTube, which is the ever growing future, right? The fast, inevitable, approaching future for us is the YouTube celebrities. Sure, there's some good ideas, there's some good thoughts, there's some funny things, there's value out there, but wow, like, the people who truly came before you, who really paved the way, sit and talk with your grandparents. They were dedicated and committed to life. And that's what should be celebrated. I love that. I really, really love that. And, like, I don't have any of my grandparents anymore. All my grandparents have moved on and passed on. And so I'm not going to get that opportunity. Um, One of the things that I do, in a lot of my previous videos, and it's around here somewhere, but I have this cap that's like a golf cap that I wear, and it's something that you normally see older guys wear. It's an old person's hat. I'm 27, but I choose to wear it. I love that hat. I love the fact that that hat is a style, and from an era long ago. Um, I was reading about, like, men's fashion, and like why guys used to wear suits and stuff, and why guys today choose to wear clothing from the 1920s and the 30s. That's a kind of a growing thing. Fashions and suits and styles that should be dead and long gone are coming back, kind of. And I loved what I read on it. Was I think the Catholic Gentleman is a website that I was following at the time, and they talked about how uh, the author, he talked about how he didn't wear old suits and dress, old fashioned and do old fashioned things because he wanted to be uh, like his grandfather, um, or he thought it was cool or novel or weird, or like he was like doing it for the attention. He argued that the reason why he did it and the reason why he was drawn to it is because he missed his great great grandfather, and that by doing these things smoking a pipe, an old like wood tobacco pipe, and dressing in a three-piece suit and a bow tie instead of a regular tie, a cap instead of a fedora or a baseball cap, like a golf cap, or like these things, growing a beard, like these are things that our great grandfathers did, and as men, we long for our great grandfathers. We miss them, and that really resonated with me when I read it, and I was like, that's very true. I wear this old fashioned style hat not because I think it looks good on me, but because every time I put it on, I'm reminded of the fact that once upon a time, one of my one of my ancestors, one of my great grandfathers or great grandparents or great 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 grandparents wore one of these, probably as a young man, and that creates like that bond or that connection that I could never possibly have because they're long gone. But I don't want to forget the past. I don't want to forget them, and I don't even know their names, but I long to meet them. So now I'm talking about old people and old things. Man, these guys. This is the problem with 21 Pilots and me. They're just Tyler is writing lyrics that are just triggering within me all these ideas and thoughts and things, and I'm just connecting all these pieces, and the music means so much more to me than just sound. So this is a beautiful art form. I Is the song done? I don't know. Let me double check that first. Seems like it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So just wanted to confirm that. Okay. Thank you for bearing with me. A 4 minute song. I turned it into I don't know how many minutes, like 12 or 14 or maybe 20 minutes now. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. If you want to get a hold of me, I just put my email address, alecthecatholic@gmail.com, in my About Us page. I have, I like a really terrible and an unattended web store with some t-shirts on it and stuff and stickers and things. I got to go through it and fix it up and add some new designs and update it. It's just stuff from confirmation and from my church, um, that I do. But if you want to help support me in what I'm doing, and just affirm for me that I'm on the right path here and I'm doing things that you guys like, visit the store, check it out. I'd appreciate it. I will see you in the next video. Thanks very much. Signing off. Peace.